Hello, everybody, David here. Welcome. Here we share true stories from real people. Today, starting out with the first story. AITA for telling my husband to choose his PlayStation over our marriage. Summary. Original post, January 2, 2024. I, 34F, have been with my husband, a 41M, for 15 years, married for 11 of those. We have a 7-year-old daughter. We've had sex maybe once a year since our daughter was born. I've always been the one to initiate any form of intimacy. When we do, it's hard to get him to stay, and I end up doing most of the work. He's seen a doctor and has no issues, and he refuses to take the little blue pill because he says he doesn't need it and there's nothing wrong. My husband has always blamed our daughter for our lack of intimacy since she slept in our bed. I would try to invite him to another room, and he always had an excuse like being too tired, but then he'd go up to our game room and play video games. Our daughter has been sleeping in her own room for over 6 months now, and nothing has changed. His excuse is still that our daughter slept in our bed all that time. My husband is a good man and a good father. He works hard for our family. He works 60 hours a week, but other than paying the bills, that's it. He says he's tired and tells me I don't understand the stress of providing financially for the family. I work 40 hours a week, run a small business, handle all the appointments, do everything related to our daughter, I'm the class mom on the PTO, and do all the household chores. I do the laundry, clean, cook meals, grocery shop, take the car for oil changes, take care of the yard, I mow and manage 2.5 acres, and take out the trash. I pay some of our bills and cover all our daughter's extracurricular activities, which definitely add up. He just thinks my workload and contributions aren't on par with what he does. Last week I called him out because he had saved some FB Reels for me. They're usually funny food and recipe ideas he wants me to try. I saw in his search history all these skimpier girls and groups he's following, which really set me off. I wouldn't be mad if he came to me for sex and I was the one refusing him. I confronted him about it, and he said he didn't search for those things, and I told him I'm not naive and it's clear as day. Then the next day he admitted, yeah, he clicked on those girls' profiles and groups because he's a man and likes looking. Recently, he's been locking the game room when he's in there, and when he says he's sleeping, I know he's playing PS, and I guess now he's also looking at those profiles. I saw lotion in there a long time ago while cleaning and asked him about it, and he swore he wasn't masturbating, but I'm not stupid or naive. I really hate being lied to. He says I'm a hypocrite because I watch porn, but I wouldn't be watching porn and taking care of my own needs if he were intimate with me. And it's not like I'm going to specific people or their profiles when I watch a video. I've also been honest with him that I masturbate and watch porn. I admit I'm a hypocrite and guess I'm just hurt because it seems like it's just me. To me, it feels like he's not attracted to me, or doesn't seem to want me. He says he's just really unmotivated, and that's what I thought, but after seeing what he likes to click on, I feel like he's just unmotivated towards me. People have always said he definitely married up. I generally take care of myself and put effort into my appearance. I'm certainly not the hottest or most beautiful, but I'm not bad. He's overweight, short, and balding. So why do I now feel like I'm not good looking enough for him or not interesting enough to keep him around? I told him I wanted him to give up all his gaming stuff and not lock himself upstairs and spend more time with me and the family, or it's time for us to divorce. He said he's not giving up his gaming stuff and doesn't see what the problem is. He told me I'm going to ruin our family because all I want is sex. I'm just tired of begging. I don't think I should have to beg for intimacy, affection, and his presence with the family. I do so much for everyone, and I'm tired of getting nothing in return. I'm tired of putting my wants and needs last. I'm tired of begging him to spend time with us and do family things. The only thing that excites him is going upstairs to the game room and playing video games, and I guess now I know he also likes doing other things up there. We've done counseling here and there, and it gets a little better, but then it goes right back to normal. So am I the asshole and a hypocrite? Am I wrong and pushing things too far? Edit to add about our kids sleeping in our bed. We both allowed her to sleep in our bed. I tried getting her into her own room earlier, but my husband kept saying she wasn't ready. She would cry, and it took a lot of work and bribery to get her into her own room. We both have different love languages. Mine is affection and physical touch, and his is acts of service. He likes a clean and tidy home, and I do my best to keep up with everything in the house wisely. I've tried talking to him about what makes me happy and what I want, but he doesn't listen to me. Sometimes I feel like a spoiled brat because, yes, he provides for us well, and I can't fault him for that. It's just so bad. I want to be seen again. We used to be such a team, and now it's this awful competition of what you do. My husband really isn't a bad person or a bad dad. Our daughter is definitely a daddy's girl, mainly because I'm the disciplinarian parent making sure she brushes her teeth, does her schoolwork, etc. On days off together, he'll do some stuff with us and then say he needs a break, but he'll go upstairs and play video games. He really does work a lot. He says he works so much because he wants to make sure we're taken care of if something happens to him. Which his dad was never there, and his mom struggled while he was growing up. Sometimes I get to the point of frustration because I wish he'd just see what needs to be done without me having to nag him. Every year I ask if he can put up Christmas lights, and he doesn't do it until I finally yell at him. Christmas lights make me and our daughter happy, and he knows that, so why do I have to ask him to do it every year? My birthday is around Christmas, and he never does anything thoughtful. He says it's because he's working and doesn't have time to go buy anything, but he has time to order his games on Amazon. I've told him to bake a cake with our daughter and have her make me a card, take her to Walmart and let her pick something out for me. I want him to show our daughter that I'm important. I'm sure you've seen that TikTok about the wife's stocking being empty, and that's another thing I have to tell him to make time for me with our daughter. I just want him to make time, and I don't have to nag him. I think I'm just tired too. I know gaming is his downtime and relaxation, but he doesn't understand that prioritizing family comes first. Update 1, January 4, 2024. I am overwhelmed by the feedback from my first post and appreciate the responses. I didn't expect to be writing an update so soon or even at all. Also, I realized I was blindly angry when writing my issues to a group of strangers, and I wrote the title wrong, so I corrected it in this update post. Yesterday, I texted my husband the following. Why are we even together, just for our daughter? What do you love about me besides being a good mom, a good wife? What do you like about me? What do you want from our relationship that you're not getting besides financially? What do you think I contribute to our relationship? Do you honestly not want to have sex or be physically intimate? Do you think that's not an issue? I need a physical and intimate relationship. It's important to me. It's not just about sex. Am I not attractive to you? Do you not desire me? Please be honest. Why do you hide that you masturbate? Why can't you understand why I'm upset and that my feelings are valid? You think I'm upset over nothing. I feel like you treat my words as if they're water being poured through a strainer. You place no value on what I say. Why can't you see my pain? Do you think this is easy for me? Have I given too many idle threats that you don't take this and what I'm saying seriously anymore? Where do we go from here? Can we even work this out? Sometimes my issue is you can't be honest with me that there's a problem. I hate when you don't take accountability and blame others. We're adults, we make mistakes, and we have to own up to what we say and do. I know I'm not myself anymore, and I don't love who I am now. I hate nagging, yelling, and begging. Begging for help, your attention, and affection. I'll go back and get a higher paying job and contribute more financially if we decide to move forward. In return, you will have to help more with our family. Help worry about finding childcare for our daughter, who's picking her up from school. You'll need to help and call out when she's sick, help with field trips, help with packing lunches, getting her to extracurricular activities, and help more with the daily grind. He never responded. Instead, I saw he played over 3 hours on his PlayStation. To me, that speaks volumes. I guess I've reached the point where I don't want a roommate anymore. I just want a partner who cares and can see the value I bring to our relationship and our family. A lot of responses in the original post talked about how I just want sex, and it's really not that. I want intimacy and the desire to feel loved and wanted. I want our relationship to go back to where we were a team, and it wasn't this harsh competition of who does what. I guess we're past the point of fixing things. Now my concern is how to make this an easy transition for my daughter. I'll keep smiling and holding back my pain because, as a parent, how she feels and what she sees is my priority. I don't want her to feel blamed or sad. I know this won't be easy, but thank you, strangers, for your advice, even if some of it's dumb. Like I said, I know it's hard to have an opinion when you only hear one side. I'm not an angel in any of this, and take responsibility for my part as I close this chapter. I guess it's time to move on. When he came home, he said how tired he was and went straight upstairs to the game room to sleep before we could even greet him. Then I heard him playing games up there. I've told him and our daughter how grateful I am for how he provides for our family. I've helped him lose weight and told him how good he looks and how proud I am of his weight loss, even though he achieved it through medication. I make sure the house is nice and tidy before he comes home. I pack his work bags, do his laundry, prepare his lunches, and buy his snacks. What I get is most of our bills paid by him and nothing more unless I ask him multiple times to do something. When I invite him to a family event, he says he's tired and doesn't go. When he does go, he complains the entire time about how tired he is. He can't just do what I do and put a smile on his face. I think I'm just done. I've reached my limit asking him to make sacrifices for me, and his response is no response while he plays his games for 3 hours. When do I deserve to get more effort from our marriage? Related opinions. Brilliant Chicken 153. I totally get it. It seems like he's not even open or appreciative of the kind things you're trying to do for him. So the only other thing I can think of is to try to get him to open up about what's making him so unhappy that he feels the need to escape into his games every time he's awake. Hold him accountable for explaining what he feels you don't understand that drives him to game endlessly. When I game, I still make time for my family, and it seems like he won't do that. You may have made up your mind already, but if you're still on the fence, temporarily set aside your hurt and frustration, and try to understand from his perspective why he resorts to gaming. It might give you a clearer picture. I guess he wasn't always like this. It seems like something fundamentally isn't working. Couples therapy might help, but many therapists aren't that great. Not sure if it's an option, but maybe a trial separation or a few weeks apart could be a wake-up call for him. Also, if you have to go through with a divorce, I wish you the best of luck. They're no fun at all. OP, this is his response a day later. Op, if I'm not making you happy, then I don't want to force something that won't make you happy. I'm okay with whatever you want to do. I really love you and I shouldn't have to prove that after 14 years together. We can go our separate ways. I will support you and Landry to the best of my ability. Just a few requests that wherever you decide to move, please stay within 30 miles so I can see Landry and be able to help better. I can cover your mortgage for a $250 and K home if you put down $100 and K, and of course cover whatever Landry needs. When we sell the house, I want $100 and K and you can have everything else. I need you to pay off the Tesla. I owe $33 and K. We need to get at least $600 and K for our home, if not more. I hate that it's come to this, but I will help you reach happiness as long as we can agree on some terms with our kids and finances. Update 2, August 11, 2024, 7 months later. Hey, my fellow Redditors. Sorry to ghost Reddit for a bit. Honestly, I'm not exactly sure where I left off, but here are the latest updates. I'm not sure exactly where's the best place to post updates, but I figured I'd make another post. After the second post, I found some thyroid nodules, and luckily, they weren't cancerous, but I still needed to undergo a procedure to shrink them. My husband found out and was very upset that I hadn't told him what I was going through medically. After that, we talked again about whether he could ask if we could reconcile, and we both tried to address our concerns and worked on things. He no longer plays PlayStation, watches porn, or stays upstairs in our game room. I started working more and contributing more financially, especially with all the added medical costs from all the labs, tests, and needing to save for the procedure. Since I've been working more, he's been helping with household chores and is now an involved parent. We're doing better, actually having sex, improving our health, and communicating more. After the cancer scare, I realized life is too short not to enjoy it. I told him I didn't have the energy to argue, be angry, and be around people who were more negative than positive in my life. He knows if we're not on the same path, I won't continue in this marriage. Like many have said, staying together just for our daughter isn't healthy. He finally listened to me and started seeing a doctor. He's on a CPAP for sleep apnea, has lost 60 pounds, and is on medication for cholesterol. He generally seems to be in a better mood now. He's told me he really didn't realize how long he'd stay up playing PlayStation and how it affected his sleep, and he's apologized for being so blind to it. I can tell he's trying and making an effort to be more involved and present as a husband and father. He's also much more proactive in our relationship. He initiates sex now, and actually gets back into foreplay, and I feel like we're reconnecting intimately. I really think that with all the masturbation, he developed death grip syndrome, which is why he had trouble maintaining an erection, leading to a dead bedroom. The bedroom is fun again, and I feel like we're how we were before having kids. We've started doing little things together, like watching shows weekly, having date nights, and we even took a week-long trip just the two of us, and we had an amazing time. I'm not saying everything's perfect because we still have our days, but we're on a very good path. I don't believe in throwing something away that's broken until I've given my all to fix it. It's easy to toss something aside and start fresh with something new. Marriage is teamwork, and both sides must be willing to put in equal effort for the long-term goal. I hate that it took so many wake-up calls to get here, but I'm so glad we're where we are in life. Again, I appreciate all of you and this Reddit community.